What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Canelo, Alverez, and Caleb Plant. Get this. These guys are finalizing for September 18th for the undisputed super middleweight title. According to Mike Coppinger, Canelo Alvarez is inching towards his goal of collecting all four titles at 168 pounds. Alvarez, boxing's biggest star, and Caleb Plant are in the process of finalizing a deal for September 18th bout in Las Vegas, a PBC Fox pay-per-view that will crown an undisputed super middleweight champion. Multiple sources tell ESPN Canelo, a promotional and network free agent, was offered a one-fight deal with Al Haymon's Premier Boxing Champions that will likely net Alverez, which is 56, 1, 2, and 38, a career-high guaranteed payday. He earned $35 million guaranteed for the three fights with DAZN and nearly $40 million for the rematch with Gennady Golovkin. Alvarez's last three matchups were promoted by Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Sports. It's unclear whether Hearn will be involved in the promotion of this fight. The Mexican star is coming off an 8-round stoppage win over Billy Joe Saunders, where he inflicted a fully fractured orbital bone on the English boxer that required surgery. That Cinco de Mayo weekend victory was in the midst of the extraordinary in-ring activity for a boxer of Alvarez's stature. Superstar fighters routinely fight just twice a year, and that used to be the case for Alvarez. His two dates have traditionally been Cinco de Mayo weekend and Mexican Independence Day weekend in September, yet he also fought in December a decision win over Callum Smith to claim the unified 168-pound championship. Okay, now, we heard about the 3-year deal with Fox expired later this year. Haymon's 3-year deal with Fox expired later this year, but includes a network option for a 4th year, per sources. A fight between Alvarez and Plant would be sandwiched between two other major pay-per-view fights, Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence Jr., and Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder on October 9th. PBC boasts the biggest or the deepest stable of talent in boxing, but isn't nearly as top-heavy as Top Rank. 6 of the 8 fighters on ESPN pound-for-pound list are promoted by Bob Arum. Spence is the longtime PBC fighter in the group. Alvarez is a box office bonanza no matter whom he fights, but he hasn't been able to flex his proverbial muscle on pay-per-view in 3 years. His past 3 bouts were offered on pay-per-view, but that wasn't a major revenue driver since they were available for less money as a part of a monthly subscription to DAZN. Now, I'm going to stop there because this is lengthy. I'll leave the link. I was actually looking for the amount that Alvarez would be paid, but I don't see that. But it is a career high payday, and I know it had to be something high if it's going to be on Fox PBC. And that's a guarantee, people. So they would have to guarantee that Alvarez got that huge amount to even fight on PBC Fox, which is a smart move for Canelo Alvarez because he's a free agent. He can do whatever he wants to do. Me, personally, I'd rather it on DAZN because it's cheaper, right? But for the most money from what you can get for this type of fight, PBC Fox is the way to go because Alvarez will sell, okay? People will come to see that. You know, hopefully they haven't got in the mindset of being grandfathered on DAZN because that's what he was marketing for the longest of time, at least the last 3 years, right? But I'm glad to see that they're finalizing a deal. You know, it looked like good news either way because the 3-fight deal was off the table and they agreed to 1 fight. So Canelo did win, okay? Instead of, hey, no, you got to take 3 in order to get 1, okay? And that really didn't look like a good idea for a lot of reasons. For one, he only wanted Caleb Plant. Who else is there? He could fought Jermall Charlo. He could have fought David Benavidez, but he already told you guys that he's not interested in fighting another Mexican. So Benavidez would be out being on the PBC. But who would he fight? Probably someone else beside those guys, which you really wouldn't want to see anyway. Okay, I'm pretty sure I would love to see Jermall Charlo and Canelo. That would be my pick, but you know, be real, we don't know where he's going. He might be looking to go to 175 instead of going back down to 160. So it's a lot of things that he can do. And I think Canelo just likes the idea of being free. You know what I mean? He just likes the idea of having and calling the own shots. I think the money is not the huge issue or the most important motivating factor in this situation. Okay, and I think it's him having the power or control over his own career. That's why, of course, he got out of Golden Boy, as you guys know that story, as I've already told you. So Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant are finalizing the deal. I look forward to this announcement. I hope nothing snags this. The undisputed 168-pound division is on fire right now because of Canelo, because of the opportunities that he's given that weight class. Because if you guys can remember a few years ago, 168 pounds wasn't the division to be in. It wasn't the weight class at all. It was like the exile from 160. You know what I mean? Like David Lemieux went there, and you know, and then a lot of other people went there. Chris Eubank Jr. went there, and it really was like a dark division to me, honestly. So I'm glad that 168 is now the division that people look towards because Canelo's there, El Cinnamon. But the irony of it is, who really looks at 160 now like they used to? So it's almost like 168 has became the new 160. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant finalizing a deal for September 18th. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.